going live. So YouTube is still going live. And you got a good shot of this thing here. It's good. And let's see, YouTube. I'll put it that way. Okay, now you have a shot. There we go. Adjust both cameras. Okay, now they have it. I'm live on there. And so now I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am adding kaolin clay, finely ground oatmeal, and a coconut flour. And I'm going to stick blend it. But before I do that, where did I? Oh, right there. Snake. Okay. I am putting my glasses on. Okay. I haven't touched the light yet, by the way. And so I'm going to stick blend all this in first. Now a little stir. Now I'm making what's called English for men, and I'm down to 3 bars of the regular. I need more. And this will not be like my normal videos on YouTube. You'll see the whole shebang. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my lye. Now I have Tussa silk and sea salt in my lye water. My recipe is kind of soft if I don't add the sea salt. It helps me unmold it. Plus, I think it has good benefits for the skin too. So there we go. Get my spatula. And then the Tussa silk here is what you're seeing down there below if you're looking from both directions. And anyway, kind of excited to have a live video on YouTube at the same time making a live Facebook one. Okay, I will need this, and I'll move that aside and go ahead and get this started. Okay, now for my fragrance oil, I get it from Brambleberry. It's called ginger patchouli. And I don't like patchouli, but this is okay. It's not, I don't think if it has patchouli, it's ginger patchouli. And I don't know how they make it. And I'm also going to be adding my heavy cream at the same time. I think the heavy cream does make a big difference in my soaps. I prefer it over goat's milk, to tell you the truth. Heavy cream has a lot more fat in it. And adding extra fat just seems to be plain nice. And so let me wipe my hands. Get that down off of there. Just a little bit. Oops, I bumped you on YouTube. So with this way, I can't see how many people are actually watching on Facebook, and I don't know how to see how many people are watching it on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for now. Scrapey this down, because I'm going to start dividing out the soap into my 4 colors. Well, I'm using the natural, so I'm having 5 colors. So I have a dark blue, which is more of a denim blue, and I have a medium blue and a green, and it's more of a lighter green plus white. I'm using the water-soluble titanium dioxide. I really can't tell a difference. I was wanting to experiment with the water soluble, thinking it'd be easier, and I don't think so. Not any easier. So start off with white, and I'm moving this around just a little bit. And see if I get this where I can pour it good. Get that poured in there. And I'm going to clean this off with my hand here and get this towel, got my hand off, and set it aside. And I'm going to stick blend it in just a moment when I get all of these poured out. And anytime he splashes, I clean it up. And got those laid out in the order I'm going to do them. Light to dark, white, green, light green, the medium blue, and then the darker blue. And here we go. Try not to get all of this in there. That's it. A little bit left for that. I will set this aside. Make sure it doesn't have anything on it. Okay. Now, that was the dark. This is the white. And this is not a fast-moving fragrance oil. I did have... I'm going to stir some of this because titanium dioxide does thicken quicker than everything else, even the water soluble. Take that off. This time I'm scrapey. Just a little bit. Move that aside. Move that one out of my way. And now for the light green. I take this thing off because it'll fall over. Go. Light blue. Move that aside. And now I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. I actually now have two spatulas I use for the regular. The other blender broke. It had the longer cord. I have one more that's got a shorter cord, and it still works, but I use it for to grind up my finely ground oatmeal in the container that came with it. Move that there. Okay. All of these guys needs a spatula that can go in the bigger container of the plain. This, I guess, will go into the white, into the green, not into the green, but put the, yeah, I have to get these here. Now let's see, can you see? Can you see? Only part of the way up there. Okay, well that is what it is. I will start with the dark blue. Put these. And I'm just going to pour down. And pour down. I'm going for the green. This is called a tiger swirl, I think. Basically, the weight of it going down the center creates a little swirl. Okay. A little bit of this. And next for the blue. Okay, and now the white. And clean my glove off. And back to the denim blue. And making a mess, but it can all be cleaned up. Sometime sooner than later. Okay, this time I think I'm going to go with this one. And it is getting a little thicker. I did say it wasn't it's not like it doesn't, it does when you stick blend sometimes go a little faster than you want it to. It's probably going to be all of this that I use. I turned off my AC so you guys can hear me. And I will reply to all comments after the video is finished. That means after I pipe. Get this all as much out of here as I can. Okay, need to get that off this. Now to green. Going with green this time. Gotta get it in there. I'm gonna plop it this way. It is getting thicker, but maybe that's a good thing because I have to pipe on top of this, and I do need it to set up before I can pipe a little bit. And for the white, I can save the white for the last layer of this so I can pipe on top of the white. Just get it like that. And this color, might not have much left of this color. Get some there. I think I got enough to get there barely. There we go. Got it in there. More green. Probably use all the green this time. The American something mold right here, the big one, does hold more, but I've got a line to match it to the other. I don't want it to have too much It would weigh too much and cost too much for people to buy. It'd be too big for you to hold in your hands. I guess unless you're a man. If I'm putting strawberries on there, it's really bad to have it too high. But this don't get strawberries. The next one I make will. And I'll be making embeds too. I'll probably make the batch and the next day make the strawberries and come online to make the strawberries if you want me to. Some people don't like the way I make strawberries because they think of how holes look at. It's like a lotus seed hole kind of thing. So when I get this in there, I'm going to tap it down before I add the white, because then I'm going to add the rest of the white. This will be the last of the main batch of soap. The piping batch has been sitting there getting thick enough to pipe. I pipe it so I can mess it up. Actually, I pipe it so that I can mix the colors in a little differently. So it'll have like all three on the top in some form or fashion. So, okay, I'm going to wipe off my hand and bounce it. It might be shaking you guys on YouTube. Sorry. Okay. Now to put on some white. Get this all over the surface here just a little bit. Mostly. I'm not too worried about it too much. Because like I said, the piping will come on top of that. I do not have white for the piping though. The one color that I don't have in the piping is actually the white. I'm just about done with this color. If I can get all of that out of there. And the other soap makers want to get every little last drop of soap into your mold. Me, I want to get every last bit of soap into my mold. Okay, so I do need to go ahead and spray the top of this with 90% rubbing alcohol. And that is so it will be set by the time I have my soap in my bags. So get the soap. Set aside my dishes there to be washed once I'm done, or rather in a couple of days. I don't, until the lye is saponified out, I don't do that. I get this in there. You see, that's just, I'm putting it in the bag. And I guess YouTube people can see me better. Well, maybe not my face, but the rest of me. And unfortunately, my little thing that holds my cell phone on here doesn't have staying power to stay up in a straight up position anymore. It has to be up above or hanging down because it just doesn't want to stay in place. Okay, make sure my hands are all soaked off of it before I push it down. That one's ready. Now for the next one. And I am not going to be putting this to bed. This is going to be left out in the open. Part of the time with the air conditioner on, part of the time not. Because I don't want it to overheat. And it is summertime, and some of my soaps like to overheat when it's summertime. So it is June. So I will try to see if I can share my YouTube video on my Facebook. So got my Facebook friends might get to watch it later. And I'm not telling all my, I like to see how it's made. You can order it once I have it on my Etsy. My Etsy shop is on vacation till I have enough money after the Sourwood Festival, basically, in the fall. I will make a note of that on my YouTube. That for the time being, Etsy is off. Well, these take about 2 months to be ready. Put that down in there. One last color, the green. And then I'll be ready to start typing. I'll go back and forth and then repeat 3 more colors. I actually made this around 7:30, so it's taken this long for it to thicken up to this piping consistency for this. Some would already be too hard to pipe. Some fragrance oils take about the time I get it made right before, and then when I'm ready to, at the end, I'm ready to pipe. If I do it too soon, for some, it's hard, not easy. I can still do it, but I've never really experienced what they call soap on a stick, which I'm fortunate for. Okay, that one is now ready. I'll get my hand once again, wipe down from the soap from the bag, and I will start with the green. I use apple green in this and another color from another place. I mean, there's just so many different places you get colorants for. You get soap safe colorants to those people who are not soap makers. We make sure that never to use things that will stain your skin, such as food coloring. Don't ever go buy the melt and pour and think you can add food coloring to it to make your soap. You will turn yourself whatever color. You will stain your bathtub too if you have a kit to make bath bombs and you use a food coloring over the counter. It will stain your tub and it will stain you. So just be aware. Food coloring is not skin safe. Now, I don't mind posting my videos on YouTube for people to see, because I know that's how I got interested into making soaps in the first place. Is I saw somebody online making it, and that's what got me started. So there could be somebody out there wanting to know, well, how do I do this? And they don't have a clue where to start until they see my videos. But watching a video is not going to give you the research that you need. You're going to have to do the research too if you're interested in making soap. You need to research and research and research some more, because that is what will make a good soap, is knowing what you're doing and researching. A lot of people start with melt and pour. I didn't. I thought of it way back before I even found the videos to learn how. I thought about it, but I canceled that idea because I wanted to make it. I didn't want to design it. I wanted to be the controller. And my little great niece is here. I hear her bumping my door. She probably hears me talking, but I can't let her come where the lye is. So now this will be swirled together. And each bar will have some or all 3 colors on top. And just go There we go. Now, the swirling process comes from, well, actually, I do have that. So I'm going to come up and swirl it together. I'm going to push it up to the center. And kind of just give it a spoon swirl is what this is called. So this is called a spoon swirl. And a lot of people use this particular swirl. Sometimes they don't do it on purpose. Sometimes they do it because their soap wasn't like being what they wanted. But this is a men's soap, and it don't need to be fancy, just pretty, colorful boy colors. And that's what I think it needs to be, is boy colors. I'll probably end the YouTube video first. I'm just trying to making sure there's not a big air bubble in there too. So another thing I want to do is make sure there's no big air bubble. There might be little air bubbles inside it, but I don't want a giant air bubble. A lot of people like making that fancy design that I use the thing, but I always find every time I do that in that type of piping, I have air bubbles. So I don't know how not to get air bubbles in those situations. Okay. Make sure go around like I did with that one on the edge. And clean this off here. Just top that right there. There we go. Now another thing I do, I go here. This is my soaping washcloth. It's only used for soaping. Gonna have to move that aside so I can get on this side to clean it. I have built a foam board holder for this thing here that bows. I picked it up so you could see. I don't know if you could see it. This one here needs none. If you're looking for a good one, you might have to pay some. And I was given this one, so I was very fortunate to a lady from Tennessee. Gave it to me. Lori, I think is her name. But it's been a while since I've actually heard from her. But she was very helpful in me getting started at soaping. And I was always so appreciative to her. All she told me at the time is that she was sending me a soap cutter. And that was in it. Okay, now once more I'm going to spray this really good. And throughout the evening and night, I will spray it some more in my area when we have a lot of humidity. This will help prevent soda ash. Okay, I'm going to take these off so that I can get the control on the YouTube video first. And I'm going to say bye now, and I hope you enjoyed this live video, and I will reply to any comments in a little bit. Okay, bye now.